we are going to be talking about the free 5-star selector that was announced in 4.0 for the live stream that they did. And there's going to be 7 characters that you can choose from: Yuan, Kafka, Dill Pickle, Jingliu, Sparkle, Acheron, and Aventurine. All really good characters in different ways, but there are some that are more valuable than others. They're not built the same. Some are even rebuilt, got new parts to them. What's he doing here? Well, you'll find out. So we're gonna start with the characters that released first, and then the newest character. So we're gonna start with Yuan. He is a 5-star Lightning Erudition character whose gimmick is building stacks for his Lightning Lord, which counts as a follow-up attack, but it goes up to 10. And when Lightning Lord takes a turn, because he is on the action bar, so when he takes a turn, he does more instances of damage based on how many stacks you have for him, capping at 10. He's good. He can do a lot of damage. He just needs very specific teammates, and that's Sunday upscale. Absolutely, yeah. He is the best and honestly the closest to being the most functional with Sunday. And there are other characters on this list in these characters that need other characters to function properly and to feel good. But Jing Yuan is one of those characters that you just kind of have to have Sunday, Robin, or like another deep support, like an SP positive or neutral support, and then PT. Sorry, I struggled with that for a second. If you don't have those characters, he just kind of doesn't feel that great, because Lightning Lord can be interrupted and can be fucked with. So it's very hard for him to feel good if you don't have him with Sunday. Like, I remember when he first came out, I would use his assist when I was doing Fantilia each week, and he was really cool and he did a lot of damage. But again, Sunday just makes him feel so much better, and I don't think I could imagine pulling for him in 2026 without having Sunday already or planning to pull Sunday. But we're gonna make a big caveat right here. I'm gonna edition zoom into me. This is just my opinion. Pick who you like, pick who you enjoy, no matter how good or bad they are. Focus on having fun and doing what you like with your account. Don't listen to some random goon around the internet. Pull King Yuan. He's great. He's really good. All these characters are fantastic, but some are better than some are better than others, and that's okay. But that's what we're here to talk about. I don't want to get stepped on by Jingliu, Kafka, and Acheron, and Black Swan, and Jade, and Dahlia. Yeah, that's it. And Kokolia. Hey, I'm not hating Jingliu. I just don't want her to step on me. Okay, there's a difference. But back to Jing Yuan. Because he's a DPS, he is the most susceptible to power creep, and I do count that into this as well. So he's a solid choice, but again, there's just a lot of factors that make him really hard to recommend, unless again you like the character. Now, next up, the character that got me to swipe. The first character I swiped for that made me a whale, the whale I am today, is because of her. Because she showed up in the first 30 seconds of the story. Kafka. She's a 5-star Lightning Nihility DPS. She's a main DPS as well, but her gimmick is dots, like damage over time, detonation. Her skill and her ultimate and her new talent, because she was buffed, all trigger dots that are applied on the enemy. So the more the better, and she's just an amazingly strong unit right now, especially with her new ascension traces, that if anyone on the team has 75% or more effect hit rate, she doubles their attack. She's a great character, and honestly, I think of the DPSs on here, she's a great choice. Her biggest problem is the fact that she's dot, so her team is very premium. So like you use Black Swan, Hysolins, and then like Hua. That's the team you want to use. Otherwise, again, it falls off. But I put her in great choice over Yuan because if you want to be a heathen and you want me to look at you bad, look at you funny, you can play Kritka because at least you're playing Kafka. You know, I'll at least give you that credit. But Sampo's a great alternative to Black Swan. Guinaifen is actually a very great alternative too, as well, because of her stacks that I keep wanting to call them Ash and Rose, but that's Jocho. Her stacks that increase the damage enemies take. So you can do a budget friendly team. It just won't feel as good. You could even do Astra instead because she can apply burn. Or you can use Luca, he's pretty good too. But there are alternatives that are more free to play friendly. And she's just really good with her buffs. And I think she's just a great choice. Like even putting bias aside, I think she's a great character right now. Dill Pickle, Dan Heng, Imbibitor, Lunae. He is a 5-star imaginary DPS, main DPS, whose gimmick is using his skill to enhance his basic attack by consuming skill points. You can consume up to 3 skill points each time, every turn that he takes to enhance his basic attack to different levels. And then he also has these stacks, I believe they're called Righteous Hearts, I'll correct it if I feel like it, that allow him to use those instead of using skill points. So he does have some ways in his kit to be SP efficient or help with his SP consumption. But again, like the other two, he really wants another character. And I'm gonna be honest, that character is Sparkle. If you don't have Sparkle, he's gonna feel really bad. Not as bad as Archer would feel without Sparkle, but there is a noticeable drop in comfort with playing Dill Pickle without Sparkle. So I think because of that, I'm gonna put him in solid below Yuan. And this is ordered, by the way. I'm putting him below Yuan because Yuan has options that, while they're not as ideal, it's more flexible. I feel like you don't have to worry about skill points as much, but like the difference is not that big in my opinion. Like genuinely speaking, I think Dill Pickle can out DPS Yuan, but if you have their premium teams, I think Yuan just feels a little better, maybe, in my opinion. Again, this is just me, like my preference in playstyle. But this is, again, it's not a bad choice whatsoever. Next up, we have the power creep, the first ever complained about power creep, Jingliu. She power creeped Dill Pickle by doing the same thing he does, but better. She's a 5-star ice destruction character that focuses on using her skill to go into an enhanced state, to use an enhanced skill that you use, like charges that she builds up to use it, and then her ultimate restores those charges, and that's her spectral transmigration state, if I remember that correctly. And she's the reason why her power creep was so noticeable was the fact that her trace, like her talent in her spectral transmigration state, gives her 50% crit rate when maxed out at level 10, which is just obnoxious, by the way. Free 50% crit rate, so you just put her on 50% crit rate, and then you just, everything goes to damage. But wait, there's more. There's more. It could have been 70. Yeah, that's too, but that's too broken. That's too broken. But here's the thing. They made her better. They buffed her even more. She was a part of the first wave of Nova Flare characters, and in that, they changed her scaling from attack to HP, which I kind of get why, because in her spectral transmigration state, she consumed HP of her allies to like buff her damage. But to compensate for that, they made it so when she's in that state, or when she consumes HP, or her allies HP, or they take damage or lose HP, she gets these, I think it's Moonlight stacks that buff her crit damage. And every, I think it's like 10 times. He's not at D. They're going through, I'm going through them and then placing them. So they're starting here, but once I go over them, I'm placing them. But when she gets going, she has, I forget the exact specifics of it, but after so many instances of her allies or the team taking damage, losing HP, or, you know, she can gain another stack to stay in Spectral Transmigration state. She's just an insane, yeah, exactly. She's an insane character that gets incredibly ignorantly buffed by the new wheelchair team of Hyacinth Tribby. And then you just throw Sparkle, Bronya, whoever the hell. It doesn't matter at that point. I'm funny, so I like using Jingliu Blade, Hyacinth Tribby. That's the team I like using for her, or for this, but that's on my alt account because I don't have Tribby or Hyacinth on my main. But she's a great character with those buffs, and because of those buffs, we're gonna put her in great choice. And I'm even going above my bias. I'm surpassing my bias and saying she's better than Kafka. I hate saying that, but it's objectively true. But great character. Well, that's the thing. I can be biased as much as I want. I'm still gonna try and be as realistic and objective as possible. That's where we go, Joe. For real. All right, next we have Sparksy's OG, the latest and greatest mid to hog support, Sparkle. She is in the newest upcoming wave from 4.0, Nova Flare support, and that is making her an absolute beast. And the fact that you're getting those buffs while getting her for free, before I even get into what she does, I'm doing this. She's optimal. I'm gonna go over her buffs because since the buffs are for free, you're guaranteed to get them. She gives you more skill points. She gives 6 skill points instead of 4 on her alt. And if she overcaps, she gives, like, she gets a stat that when you're using skill points, it replenishes them instead. So her SP economy is fantastic. And then one of her Ascension traces allows her to use her skill for free. And then her Ascension 3 trace, which was notoriously kind of scuffed and you just kind of ignored it, or at least I did, unless you were playing Mono Quantum, because it buffed the attack for the amount of quantum characters in the team. So you only benefited from it by using Mono Quantum. That's how you got the most out of that. But now it's just a flat 45% attack for the team. It's insane. It's absurd. And then if I remember correctly, using the character you use the skill on gets an increased all type res pen. Absolutely fucking insane. Great ass character. She makes Dill Pickle pop off. She makes Yuan pop off. She makes Acheron pop off. She makes any DPS pop the fuck off because she just buffs crit damage. So any crit based DPS wants her on the team. And if you already have her, her E1 is even better because it gives her a speed buff. So like when you use her ultimate, I believe, or her skill, but you fulfill the condition, she gets a 15% speed boost for 2 turns. On top of using the Eagle set, she's zooming. She is zooming, bro. She's going so fast, you can't even see her on the action bar. Absolutely insane character. You can't go wrong with getting her in 2026. Optimal choice, genuinely speaking. Next up, we have the best emanator in the game. My waifu for lifeu. The best character in Hoyo versus verse. Raiden Basunori Mei, aka Acheron. She is actually the best character in the game, objectively speaking. Just saying. Nah, but for real, she's a 5-star lightning nihility main DPS that as an emanator, she focuses on her path. So getting debuffs applied to the enemy to build up /stream stacks to unleash her ultimate that ignores type resistances to deal toughness damage so she can break enemies even if they're not weak to lightning. And she just does so much damage, and she's really flexible because she just needs 2 Nihil units unless you have your E2 on her, which show it, editor Shen, put it on screen. Look at my Acheron. She's my queen. She deserves the best. And I gave that to her. Okay, I paid my dues. Okay, I'm biased, okay. One slips from Odd Blaze. Real shit. Real shit though. Nah. But like, here's the thing. She has fallen off horrendously, depressingly so. You pulled her and like come just to bench. That's diabolical, saying that in a Shin chat. Like, actually diabolical work there, bro. She has had a really depressing fall off because harmony units are just so incredible. Like, she can still clear content. I'm still able to clear content with her even on my E0 S1, but it does feel really rough playing her in 2026 at E0 S1. And I hate saying it, but she's a great choice. She'll get you through content, but you really gotta work for it, and you gotta have Cypher and Zhao Cho if you're at E0. What happened to Fei Xiao too? Yeah, oh yeah, it did happen to Fei Xiao. It feels really bad. So she's a great choice. I think she's better than Dill Pickle or Jing Yuan because she just does so much more damage. But you kind of gotta work for it. Definitely gonna get Acheron. Yeah, no, absolutely. Real shit though. Hey, I'm not glazing. I put her below Kafka. I am not glazing. I'm being so for real. And last but most certainly not least, the man who represents the entire gacha community, the gambler man himself, Aventurine. He is a 5-star imaginary preservation character who was, for the longest time, the best sustain unit in the game, or if not one of the best. He is a shielder that builds up stacks to perform a follow-up attack to refresh his shield that can stack, and is able to use his ultimate to increase the crit damage a single target takes. as chat is saying, he did get power crept by Dan Heng Promancer Terra. Now, I don't think he's bad. Even getting power creeped, I don't think he's bad. I think he's still a great unit, and people are just being really stupid by saying he fell off because he really hasn't. And if you weren't here for Dan PT, he's a great alternative, and he does really good shielding. He gets those stacks from follow-up attacks or just from the team getting hit. So if it, like against Hule, for example, he is a great shielder because Hule be Sanic, he be zooming, bro. And he is able to do a fantastic job keeping those shields up. And especially with the new shielder set that came out, he's able to give buffs to the team. It's incredible. He's a great character. Anyone says he fell off, don't trust them. They are being very disingenuous and they don't understand the game. Or if they do, they are just lying to you then, because then they know he's not bad. So with that, I think he is going to be the second optimal character because you cannot go wrong with getting great sustain units, great support, free amazing supports, and free amazing sustains. You can't go wrong with. Again, all of these characters are fantastic. You can't go wrong with any of them. But these two, Sparkle and Aventurine, hold the most value for your account if you don't already have them. Now, I will say, for myself, on my main account, which is my whale account, I am debating between Sparkle E1 and Dan Heng, because Dan Heng is the only character of these 7 I don't have. Get him off the juice. Hey, objectively speaking, he has more account value than her, unfortunately. I get what you're saying. I get it. It hurts. It hurts to put him above Kafka and Acheron. It does, but it's true. But I'm debating between Sparkle E1 and Dan Heng and Byra Lunae. So let me know who you guys think I should pick in the comments down below. Like this video if you want to see more stuff kind of like this. Trying to do something a little new with this one. And then let me know who you guys are picking in the comments down below as well, alongside who you think I should pick between Sparkle E1 or my first copy of Dill Pickle. With that, I look forward to seeing you guys. Launch night of 4.0. I'll be live on Twitch and YouTube, maybe even Kick. We'll see. I look forward to seeing you guys in the future. Good luck with your polls. Have fun with the game, and I look forward to seeing you guys next time.